My dear students, to explain Heisenberg principle, now I am giving one example. Please observe, this is a fan having 3 blades. Now the position of each blade is constant because the velocity of this blades is 0. Okay. Now you can identify easily the position of the blades because velocity is 0. Now if you observe, the fan is in rotation. So for us it is difficult to say the exact position of each blade because it is in motion. So you compare this motion and position of these blades with Heisenberg principle. Okay. The statement of Heisenberg is, you observe this one, it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and the exact momentum or velocity of a subatomic particle like electron in an atom. Once again, please observe the statement. It is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and the exact momentum or velocity of a subatomic particle like electron in an atom. According to Heisenberg, to calculate the exact position of electron or exact momentum of electron at a time is impossible. If you are able to calculate, if you are able to know the exact position, then we will be unable to calculate the exact momentum. If you are able to solve momentum, we cannot identify the exact position. So out of these two, only one we can find at a given time. Once again, it is impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and the exact momentum or velocity of a subatomic particle like electron in an atom. For this purpose, he has given an equation: delta x into delta b is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Okay. Here delta x is equal to uncertainty in position. Please observe this one, uncertainty in position. Delta p represents uncertainty in momentum. Uncertainty in momentum. P represents momentum, means P is equal to mass into velocity. So then delta P is equal to m into delta V. Then delta P is equal to m into delta V. So if we substitute delta P value here, then delta x into m into delta V is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Then we can write like this: delta x into delta V is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. So here, if delta x is equal to 0, suppose delta V become infinite. If delta V is equal to 0, then delta x become infinite. Please observe again, once again. If delta x is equal to 0, then delta V becomes infinite. If delta V is equal to 0, then delta x becomes infinite. Okay? One condition is there. This theory is not applicable to those objects which cannot change their positions by themselves when a light falls on them. Once again, this theory cannot applicable to those objects which cannot change their positions by themselves when light falls on them. Next one, what is the significance of Heisenberg principle? It rules out the existence of difference paths for electrons. In Bohr's theory is arrested a particular paths which are called as orbits. All these orbits only electrons can rotate, can revolve around the nucleus. This type of exact paths or difference paths for electrons in the atom, he cannot accept. Next one, this theory is significant for microscopic objects only, cannot suitable for macroscopic or big sized particles with more weight. This principle is suitable or significant for microscopic objects only. Okay. Next one, we are going to discuss about few model numericals on Heisenberg principle. The first one is calculate the uncertainty in velocity of an electron if the uncertainty in position is 100 picometers. Already we know mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. Here uncertainty in position is given as 100 picometers. 1 picometer is equal to 10 power minus 12 meters. So then finally you can get delta x is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 10 meters. Please observe, 100 picometers is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 10 meters. That is equal to delta x. So we are going to calculate about the delta v. Okay, uncertainty in velocity. Delta v is equal to h by 4 pi into m into delta x. H value we can consider 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 kg meter square second inverse. 4 into pi means here 3.14, m is equal to 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg, delta x is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. After calculation, we can get 5.79 into 10 power 5 meters per second. Okay, this is the way to calculate delta v. Okay, next one, second question. The uncertainties in velocity and position of a particle are 5.25 into 10 power minus 24 meters per second and 10 power minus 10 meters. This 10 power minus 10 meters refers to position, and that 5.25 into 10 power minus 24 meters per second refers to velocity. But they are asking about the mass of the particle. Mass of the particle. If delta x is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters, delta v is equal to 5.25 into 10 power minus 24 meters per second. Okay, both are in the same system. Then m is equal to mass of the particle is equal to h by 4 pi into delta x into delta v. Then h value we can consider 6.625 into 10 power minus 34 kg meter square second inverse by 4 into 3.14 into delta x is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters. Okay, delta v is equal to 5.25 into 10 power minus 24 meters per second. Okay, all are in the same system. Then after calculation we can get mass is equal to 0.1004 kg. Okay, right. Next is Schrodinger wave equation. Schrodinger wave equation. Atom has a positive nucleus. Suppose this is an atom. This has a positive nucleus. This is surrounded by, suppose the circular path is called as orbit. On the circular path there is a stationary electronic wave. This is wave. This is orbit. Okay, on this orbit a stationary electronic wave. According to Schrodinger, the electron in motion as a three-dimensional wave. According to him, this wave is a 3D wave, three-dimensional wave. Three-dimensional wave. This is orbit. Okay, this is nucleus. Okay, electron in motion as a three-dimensional wave traveling in the electric field of the nucleus. Electric field of positive nucleus. Electron in motion as a three-dimensional wave traveling in electric field of positive nucleus. To calculate this three-dimensional motion of electron, okay, the specialty of Schrodinger wave equation is explain the motion of electron in three-dimensional manner. So to calculate the three-dimensional motion of electron, he has given an equation. dou square psi by dou x square. Dou square psi by dou x square plus dou square psi by dou y square plus dou square psi by dou z square plus 8 pi square m by h square into e minus v into psi is equal to 0. This is e minus v into psi is equal to 0. Here m is equal to mass of electron, h is equal to Planck's constant, E is equal to total energy. This E is equal to total energy. V is equal to potential energy. Please take care here. Here V represents potential energy. Once again, here V is called as potential energy, not velocity. V is potential energy only. Please take care here. This is called psi. Psi is equal to wave function. This is psi is wave function. This psi tells about the amplitude of the electron wave. That is the amplitude. So this psi represents the amplitude of the electronic wave. The acceptable solutions of wave equation, for this equation some solutions will be there. Those are acceptable. The acceptable solutions of the wave equation are called Eisen wave functions. Eisen wave functions, which are denoted by psi. That generally this psi square denotes probability density. Generally psi may be negative or positive. If you see here in this line psi is equal to 0, below psi will be negative, above psi should be positive. But if we consider psi square, it should be always positive. It tells about the probability density. It is useful to find the probability of finding electron in space around the nucleus in a small area. Okay, psi square tells about the probability of finding electron in space around the nucleus. Okay. Right. Next one, differences between orbit and orbital. Differences between orbit and orbital. Now, orbit. It is a well-defined circular path. Well-defined circular path around the nucleus in which electron revolves. Around the nucleus in which electron revolves. Next one, orbital. This is important definition. Orbital. The three-dimensional space around the nucleus where probability of finding the electron is maximum around 95%. It is a three-dimensional space around the nucleus where the probability of finding the electron is maximum around 95%. Okay. Next one, number 2. Orbit represents movement of electron in one plane. Please observe here. Orbit represents movement of electron in one plane only, whereas orbital represents movement of electron in three-dimensional space. Three-dimensional space. This is in one plane. Orbit is in one plane. Orbital in three-dimensional space. Next one, point number 3. Here, position and velocity of electron can be known with certainty. Position of electron and velocity of electron can be known with certainty. In orbital, it is not possible. In orbital, not possible to find position and velocity with certainty. The shape of the orbital generally circular or elliptical. But in orbital, different shapes. For example, s orbital spherical, p orbital dumbbell, d orbital double dumbbell, f orbital quarter dumbbell, like that. Okay. Fifth one, orbit do not have directional characteristics. It cannot show directional characteristics. But in orbitals, except s orbital, the remaining all the orbitals can have directional properties. In orbitals, except s orbital, the remaining orbitals can have directional characteristics. Next one, last one. Maximum number of electrons in any orbit is equal to 2n square. Please observe. Is useful for object. This point, sixth point in both the cases. Maximum number of electrons in any orbit is equal to 2n square. In orbital, maximum number of electrons only 2. Please observe the difference. In orbital, maximum number of electrons to only. In orbit, maximum number of electrons to n square. So many times questions asked in objective. Okay. Once again, maximum number of electrons in orbit is equal to n square. Maximum number of electrons in orbital is equal to 2. Okay.